Hi everyone and welcome. So obviously I'm not Eloise, so I'm Caroline Tanner. Some of you may know me from Avocado Fertility. And I am just putting Nicola Carter, which is what we're speaking about today, into this video. So hopefully she won't be too much longer, but welcome everyone and hi to everyone who's waved. She's here, Nicola, hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm very excited.
I know, me too, me too.
Okay, so I was just basically saying, obviously, who I am. Do you want to just introduce yourself, Nicola?
Yeah, certainly. So I'm Nicola Carter. I also appear on Instagram as the mental health doula. But tonight, Caroline and I are both talking to you about our new project, which is Fertility Goddess Fundamentals. And the
Yeah.
lovely Eloise has allowed us to take over and talk to all
Yeah.
of her followers and fans as well.
Yeah, she has trusted us. So as Avocado Fertility, I'm a partner with Fertility Help Hub. So yeah, I absolutely am grateful for Eloise for allowing us to do this, and it just gives us so much more exposure for this absolutely amazing project that we really can't wait to show you ladies about, and so you can join in. So this is about just getting some more information about Nicola and I, about what the programme is and how you can take the first steps into joining. If you have any questions throughout this, just pop them in the comments, and if we're able to answer them whilst we're on, we absolutely will. If not, don't worry, we can have a look through and then answer them afterwards. Okay? Okie doke. So, my area of expertise, I'm a Reiki therapist, so I'm very much into energy healing. I absolutely love a law of attraction and all things energy, such as that. I'm also a life coach, a breath coach in training, soon to be qualified, and also a holistic and spiritual fertility coach. So I'm currently working one-to-one with clients. And Nicola, you and I met on some continuous professional development supervision training, didn't we, as part of our fertility coaching? So do you want to just tell people kind of what your background is?
Yeah, certainly. So I am a doula. I'm also a hypnobirthing teacher, and also do placenta encapsulations, which some people love, some people don't. And one of the cornerstone really of my work is women's mental health, particularly maternal mental health. And one of the risk factors that we see as a cause for poor maternal mental health is where women have had experience of infertility, and that journey to get their family or not has been a difficult one, which is one of the reasons, well, it's the main reason that I started working with fertility clients, to give them the support. And then, as Caroline was just saying, we were actually on some CPD for something slightly different to this, and we were kind of talking in the margins a little bit. And realised that we both had very similar views and passions in terms of how we thought that the body worked around fertility, and how the energetic forces can impact that as well. So we hopped on a Zoom call, didn't we? Because this was in the middle of lockdown. We hopped on a Zoom call, and literally, I don't know where that time went, because we just like ping-ponged off each other, didn't we, for the entire time. And we sort of said, oh, well, we'll go away, we'll have a little think, and we'll see where we want to go with this. And I think we would both say, wouldn't we, that it was just on our minds constantly about what we could do, how we could do this, the things that we've already done with clients in the past that we know that we could pull together, things that we could tweak, different things that we could explore. And so, yeah, we've spent most of lockdown on Zoom together, haven't we? Just planning.
It's final lockdown, yeah.
Of this. Yeah,
Absolutely. And just kind of following on from that, I mean, when we had that first conversation, we basically sketched an outline of the programme, didn't we, there and then?
yeah.
And it just came so easy. And, you know, I just want to let people know that in terms of the programme, it isn't just a way of us getting to do a group coaching programme, you know, as opposed to working one-to-one clients. This is just so much more than that, isn't it? It's really bringing in that energetic principle to fertility, and all of the background and experience and knowledge and love and passion, and how much we believe in the energy of the body and how that impacts on everything really, and all the energy around us. And we really wanted to bring that to the fertility world. So this is the group coaching program is around that, isn't it? It isn't just about getting a group of people in to coach. It's so much more than that. And actually it's a spiritual journey, because I've been on my own spiritual journey since I had my son, and I went through many rounds of IVF before I eventually got him, and that really triggered that spiritual journey for me. And I think back to how I was obviously in the midst of the fertility journey, but even before then as well, and how much I've grown as a person, and actually all the tools and techniques that I've learned along the way, and how I use that every day in my life, how it's just been absolutely transformational. So that's what I want to give to all the women who join the program, not just for them to enhance their chances of conception, but if they do go on to have a baby, to just be able to kind of live in a way that they have the tools to manage the overwhelm that having a baby brings, and just everything in life generally.
Yeah, and similar. So kind of my journey here differs to Caroline, but the outcome is very similar. So my fertility journey kind of revolved around recurrent miscarriages, and after being told several times that there was nothing wrong with either myself or my husband, I managed to find an amazing professor at one of the hospitals in the West Midlands, and get onto one of the trials that he was doing. And it turned out that I've got really high levels of uterine natural killer cells. So my body attacks the fetus in order to protect me, because it sees it as a source that perhaps isn't supposed to be there. And so actually without this treatment from this trial, potentially, I genuinely don't believe that I would have got pregnant. I think, well, I know I would have got pregnant, because getting pregnant wasn't the problem, but I genuinely don't think I would have gone all the way through a pregnancy. And I had to do that all on my own, to do all of that research, to find where I needed to go, to have the courage to go in there and stick to my guns and say, I'm trusting my instincts here. I know there's something wrong, even though I've got medical professionals telling me that, everything looks like it's fine. And that was a journey that absolutely brought me to my knees, really. And that's it, isn't it? When you're really struggling with that being able to have a baby, and everybody else around you is doing it so easily, it strips you right back, and you really do have to kind of look at what your values are, and how on earth do you retain any semblance of resilience, and then after all of that, how do you manage to get yourself into a position where you can be a good mum, and you can give your baby what they need, and that was certainly very difficult for me. I make no secret of it that I really did struggle with postnatal depression, and that first year after my little boy was born, it was really, really difficult. And it certainly wasn't a case of, well, you've got your baby now, everything's fine. But the pressure of that was, I think, the thing that really broke the straw that broke the camel's back, because I'd spent 4 years of my life telling everybody that I want, everybody that I knew, all I wanted was a baby. And then I had this beautiful baby boy, and that feeling of love and connection just wasn't there. So it was really about understanding who I was as a person and how I got back to where I needed to be. And part of that has been a lot to do with looking at what is really around me and learning to question the things that I take as an absolute. Is that really the fact, or is that my mind kind of playing tricks on me? Is that the reality? And even if that is the reality, does that really matter? And that's one of the things that's kind of a thread through the work that Caroline and I do. It's really understanding, being able to be present in the moment and control those emotions, and recognize when things are kind of running away with you in maybe a way that is not a true reflection of reality. I think we're going to go on to talk about toxic stress in a bit, aren't we? But
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely, absolutely. But it's so people feel, especially when all they want is a baby, and I felt exactly the same, that having a baby will make them feel better. So if they are in this really dark place, that having a baby is going to be the only solution, when actually that isn't the case often for many people, because the residual impact of all that trauma, the toxic stress, the difficulties doesn't go away once baby is born. And obviously for many women it's all that they've ever wanted, and when baby comes along it's absolutely amazing and it's magical, and a lot of the difficulties do go away, but actually the trauma is stored in the body. And like you say, we're going to speak about that later, but this is about setting women up on that journey for having their baby, if that does happen for them, and beyond. So should we just speak a little bit about the fertility goddess fundamentals name?
Yeah.
So
we went deep there, didn't we? Like,
yeah,
only 10 minutes in and we've gone deep.
So in terms of the name, then obviously fertility speaks for itself, but goddess fundamentals came about because we really both believe in the concept of masculine and feminine energy, and how having a good balance of masculine and feminine energy is really needed to feel holistically well in mind, body and spirit. And actually a fertility journey can absolutely strip excuse me, the feminine essence. So people often feel stuck, they become quite hardened, and the dominant masculine energy, masculine energy is great, it's absolutely needed, absolutely useful, we need to have a balance of that. But when that becomes overly dominant, which it often can in a difficult journey, that's when we have the difficulties of trying to control everything, feeling very much stuck, wanting to have overly exerting our power. We can feel often angry. So we really want to be bringing the feminine energy back into us, which is what the Fertility Goddess Fundamentals program does. And the feminine energy is able to it's got a lot of acceptance, it's able to go with the flow and change, and it's soft, and it's that core essence, isn't it, of who we are as women, but as human beings, because everybody's got a combination of both. So that's kind of where the goddess came in, and we're all goddesses, all women are goddesses, and it's about getting that back, isn't it, throughout this journey?
Yeah, definitely. And I think thinking back to kind of how I felt at the time when I was desperately trying for a baby, I didn't feel like a goddess. I didn't want to do anything, I didn't want to talk to anybody, and I just think that I would have given anything for somebody to remind me at that point that actually, yes, you still are, and you've still got all of this inside you that doesn't need to start and end with your ability to have a pregnancy or have a successful pregnancy.
Yeah, absolutely. And then fundamentals came about because we very much believe that there are 7 fundamental principles, energetic principles to fertility. So if people are aware of chakras, then they will know that there are 7 main chakras. They're the most talked about, but they're all up to 12, but we won't go there just yet. But the 7 main ones basically run from the bottom of the spine upwards to the top of the head. And so in terms of the 7 fundamentals, that is based on when each chakra is aligned and each chakra is open and it's activated, and energy is able to flow within it and through it, then actually that's when we get well-being and we get balance. So do you want to just speak a little bit more about the fundamentals, Nicola, for everyone?
Yeah, definitely. So the kind of format of the program is a 7-week program, 7 fundamentals. So as you can imagine, we kind of generally work on 1 fundamental a week, but we do come back to every week what we call your sacral chakra, which is your energy center, which is just below your navel, so kind of where your uterus is, and in terms of visualization, that's an orange color, and it's where your reproductive power is, along with other things, and it's about understanding that, recognizing that, making sure that that is balanced and working well, and able to kind of receive that future baby. And then in terms of things that can impact your energy centers, this is what we were talking about a little while ago, was the toxic stress. And what we mean by toxic stress is when your body is under a sustained amount of pressure or anxiety. So we all know that, for example, if we're walking down the stairs and we lose our footing and we kind of have to grab the banister, you kind of, it's a sharp inhale and you feel the adrenaline in your body, you feel your heart rate pump, and then you kind of calm back down again and life carries on and everything is relatively unaffected. The problem is when you go for long periods of time with your stress levels raised. So for example, during a fertility journey, and if you think the things that we are always conscious of and watching, we're tracking our cycles, we're ovulation testing, we're working out when we can take a pregnancy test, we're working out when's the best time to have sex, we're wondering whether this is going to be our month, will we have a baby by Christmas, can I book a holiday this year, you know, all of those things. And that's before you even get to the point of actually starting any type of fertility treatment, which is a whole different heap of stress added on top. And that isn't something that you just have a quick you know, intake of breath, increased heart rate, and then settle back down again. That stress sits in your body and it starts to affect the flow of energy within your body. And it's about understanding that, working out how you can kind of correct that and rebalance things, because as you guys will know, fertility is about more than just your physical health. It's about your emotional and your energetic health. And there's a lot of things out there that support women with their physical health. There's some bits out there that support them with their emotional health, although probably not as much as there should be. But there's nothing out there that kind of really focuses on energetic health alongside emotional well-being. So, you know, that's the format that we've chosen to work with here.
Yeah, absolutely. And what I see a lot in my clients is the self-love. So the self-love, the self-worth has gone. And that comes from thoughts such as, you know, maybe I'm not good enough to be a mum, my body's failing me, I should be able to do things that come naturally to other women. And, you know, the impact on the relationships with other people, you feel that you're isolated and people don't understand you. So you start feeling very disconnected from people. And then that causes a disassociation in your own body, doesn't it, between your mind and your actual physical body. And then you start having negative thoughts around your own body and how it's not working properly. And actually the mind is very powerful. So when the mind is in that state, then it can make subtle changes to the body, because the body's feeling that, you know, there is an imminent danger. So that's what the toxic stress is about. But going back to the self-love, you know, this isn't just about focusing on the energy center around the womb area, which is the sacral chakra. You know, it's each one of the 7 main chakras, but the heart chakra is such a significant energy center when it comes to fertility, because there is the heart-womb connection as well. So energetically, there's the vessel that goes energetically from the heart to the womb, but also the heart shares a bloodline with the womb. So obviously the heart is responsible for the pumping of the blood around the body. So actually when the heart chakra isn't working as it should, when it may be blocked and not aligned with all of the other chakras, it can really have an impact on the womb area. So the work that we really focus on is opening that heart chakra up and also increasing those feelings of self-love and self-worth, because once that is increased, then the body is in a calmer, neutral state, isn't it? More conducive for conception.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like without getting too technical, as Caroline mentioned, this kind of suggestion that the mind gives to the body, which can trigger physical responses, you know, that's a primal response. There's nothing you can do about that. Your body is, your brain is signaling to your body that it thinks that you're in danger, and therefore it's not conducive for you to get pregnant at the moment. So it's really important that people are able to kind of understand that how that works and manage their thoughts and emotions. And the only way you can do that, thank you, Rachel, the only way you can do that is to understand that that's what's happening. And so many people don't understand that. You know, they are kind of just chasing after the latest fertility diet or the latest fertility treatment, and actually a huge amount of that power sits within you. And it's about recognizing that and kind of enabling that within yourself. And also, I was going to say, you know, what you were saying about the kind of disassociated state. I was having a conversation with someone this week about some of the things that you can absolutely convince yourself of when you are in this stress state. And, you know, we were talking about we were even having conversations about whether or not it was karma because of something that had gone off in a previous time in your life as to why you weren't able to have your baby. And you know, is this because of something that I've done? Should I have done something else? And that I can look back on those thoughts now and just see the absolute absurdity of it. But there was no telling me at the time that you know, that wasn't the case, because everything was so disconnected. I wasn't grounded, you know, and I wasn't thinking logically. And yeah, okay, some of that might have been poor mental health, but actually I think I got to that point because I had become so kind of disconnected from myself and all these different kind of energy points within myself.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the other sessions or within the program is the throat chakra, because it is, and that's one of my favorite, and I've told you this, haven't I, when we were kind of creating this, because that is a lot around shame. And I know for me personally, around a fertility journey, I had a lot of shame around that. And when people feel ashamed, they don't speak the truth. And I love Brené Brown, and one of her famous quotes is, if you speak shame cannot survive being spoken. So when people speak about how they're feeling and how it's impacting them, then that shame has nowhere to survive, really. So one of the real focuses is on the throat chakra, how we can speak our truth. But again, that's linked to the heart chakra. So with regards to the program, it does follow a particular pattern. So it goes up the chakras, doesn't it, in sequence. And the idea is, and the importance of that is, that with that, you cannot kind of get to that stage with your crown chakra and enlightenment, so to speak, fertility enlightenment, without actually going through each one. So we start with the root chakra because everybody needs to feel safe. So it's around ensuring that within our bodies, within our minds, that we're feeling safe. And then we go through each chakra, and each one leads onto the other, doesn't it? So we get to the point where at the crown chakra, we are then aware. We're aware of where we are in the world. We're more aware of who we are personally. We are aware of what our journey will look like. We have that acceptance of where we are on the journey. So, you know, we don't just kind of jump from each one to each one. It really does follow a lineage that really kind of takes the client on that journey of getting them to a place where they're able to manage their fertility journey in terms of the overwhelm and the difficult feelings, and have acceptance and a renewed sense of hope. But it's about that spiritual element of it as well that will, you know, give them results far beyond what the course will bring. So in terms of value, you know, it's a lifetime worth of value in 7 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I feel like we've thrown an awful lot into the mix there. I think we've gone into more detail than we were planning to do. But I think what I would suggest is we are planning on doing a 5-day free Enhance Your Fertility experience. We're going to do it within a private Facebook group, and we are going to do, we're not going to do parts from the course, we're going to do things that we have written that kind of complement the course, and we're going to do that across 5 days, and each day we'll see Caroline and I doing a bit of an intro in the morning, giving you a task to do during the day, and then coming back for live sessions each evening where we kind of really hone in on one particular part of the program and the work that we're doing, and help unpick that with you, and we'll be available to answer questions, and just kind of go through it with you as well. So like I say, we're going to do that over on Facebook, and we are doing that. We start that on Sunday the 21st of March, and we will drop the link below this video for our main Facebook group. We're not actually going to open the 5-day challenge Facebook group until slightly nearer the time. So we'll drop the link for our main Facebook page in the comments below, and you can come and join us there. And then obviously we will let you know when the 5-day challenge group opens. And yeah, that's just kind of to give you a flavour for you to get to know us a little bit better. And like I say, ask us any questions. Is there anything else we need to tell them?
No, I think Eloise has kindly put the link to the article which explains kind of much more about the programme and a lot of the things that we've just spoken about today, really. So she's put the link to the article in the bio. So if you just go to the Fertility Help Hub bio, it's in there and you'll be able to read it. If you want to read that later on when it's taken down, just go onto the Fertility Help Hub website where it will be. So yeah, I think that's it really. With the 5-day experience is free. It's very much a taster of what you're going to get. It will help you to see how beneficial the programme will be if that's what you want to carry on. But even just in isolation, the 5-day experience is really going to be significant and changing for people if they're really kind of focusing on that and commit to that. Then yeah, and we'd just love to see you there and just build that community as well, isn't it? Yeah. Just having that community of like-minded people, like-minded women, you know, sharing questions and thoughts and experiences, which is, you know, that's invaluable in itself, isn't it, really?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And, you know, there's absolutely no pressure. Come and do the 5-day course with us. We completely understand that, you know, people are at different points. You may not be ready to even look at a 7-week course, you know, because that's quite a commitment in time, in terms of time, and, you know, also an emotional investment to work through that. And you might not be in a position to kind of open yourself up to that for now. So just come and do the 5 days. You know, it's a very safe 5 days. We're not unlocking anything that's really deep or triggering. It is just a very gentle introduction, give you some different things to think about, some different things to try, and yeah, just like Caroline says, build the community, get to know each other, make those connections with people that get it rather than people that think they get it, because that's a huge difference, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, I think that's it. But like I say, if after the video, if people are watching it afterwards, any questions, just give us a follow on Fertility Goddess Fundamentals Instagram, and you can direct messages there, and absolutely go over to our Facebook page where you will get some more information about the 5-day experience coming up. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, and thank you, Eloise, much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you, Eloise. All right, take care.
Thank you.
Bye.